What is up, viewer out there watching this video? Like rocks back here, this time be a GM mode in NHL 17. This is not going to be franchise mode. This is going to be a GM mode. I've been looking around at other GM mode commentaries and stuff, and I played a little bit of this game mode on my own, and I agree when a few of the other people that I've watched have been saying that owner mode and managing everything from the bathrooms to the hot dog prices to the parking and everything, managing everything like that will get a little bit too tedious for an enjoyable YouTube series. So we are going to do the classic GM mode, the GM mode from last year. So it's the same thing as it was in NHL 16. And we're going to be playing with the Vancouver Canucks. Because it's GM mode and not season mode, everything over here will be changed. 20 minutes, CPU trades. I'm gonna turn injuries off because I've always played GM mode with injuries off. It's just a personal preference of mine. So that's how I like to play my GM mode. So that's what I'm going to be doing over here. Salary cap, let's change this to hard. Relocation, now we don't need to do that. We'll just be playing with our good old Vancouver Canucks, the hopeful Vancouver Canucks, mind you. And this team, I've actually boosted a little bit of the players inside. I took the Sedins, made their offensive awareness a little bit better. I made Henrik's passing a little bit better, and Daniel's shot a tad. Their overalls are still the same, but a lot of their individual stats have been changed. Same with a lot of the younger guys, too. Ben Hutton I made a little bit better. Tramkin as well, and then the other guys like Chris Tanev already has an amazing rating in this game, and I'm proud to say that he got whatever it was that he got. I believe it was 87. So after all the edits that I made, which there weren't that much, there was only like, I'd say less than 6 edits I made onto the players of this team, we got ourselves a Vancouver Canucks team with 90 offense, 93 defense, 86 goaltending. The defense seems a little bit high. I'm not gonna lie. The defense should probably be at, like, I'm guessing maybe an 88, 89. Offense, I could understand why it's like that, because if you don't know how it works, everything that's offensive on the team contributes to the offensive rating. So offensive awareness is a really big part of that, and the Sedins having good offensive awareness, which I gave them, gives the team this 90 offensive awareness or of offensive stats. So basically, starting things off here, I want to take a look at who we got on this team and the goal for the Vancouver Canucks as a team right now. So actually, you know what? Let's go look at the lines real quick, because I think that would be the best place to start. So looking at the lines of the Canucks right here, the lines that we got: Henrik, Daniel, and Eriksson. Yeah, that's expected. Berchi, Horvat, Hansen, Edom, Sutter, Burrows, Dorsett, Granlund, Virtanen. Now, what we got over here is a team where our top line is a decent top line, but it's by no means bad. Just compared to some of the other top lines, it could be a little bit better. Looking at the rest of the team, what we got are younger guys who haven't really come into terms, and older guys who are on that decline. You look at Alex Burrows, 81 overall, 35 years of age. The only problem with him is the $4.5 million contract, which is going to be up. Eriksson, Sedin, they're good players, but Yannick Hansen, who's a little bit on the older side, he can definitely be a good depth player on any other team, but on this team, he is a second liner, or maybe even a third liner if you decide to move someone like Burrows up to the second line. On defense, though, I think we are strong. Edler and Tanev. Edler, I think he's gotten a little bit too high of a rating in this game, but I'll take it. Edler and Tanev, 87. Goodbranson, I changed him to medium elite because I believe that that's what he is. And Ben Hutton, I changed to medium elite as well because, hey, you don't end up on Craig Button's top 10 prospects of the year list along with Jack Eichel, McDavid, Dylan Larkin, without being a good defenseman. And I think the 3 college defensemen who transitioned into the NHL last year, Hutton, Gostisbehere, and Parayko, are all they're all potential elite players. So that's why I gave all of those guys elite. Then we got ourselves Lucas Pisa, he's 83, and Tramkin, I made him a top 4 high, because with those defensive skills and that size, there's no way this guy won't find some success somewhere. And our goaltenders are actually, let's look at the scratched here. Now, since I'm playing with injuries off, I would like to get rid of these guys. Pedan, he's a top 6 high, so he's got potential, but what I really like about Andre Pedan is his trade value. He's got some great trade value onto his name, and he's 23, so by the time he hits 24 and above, that's the time where his value is really going to go up or down, depending on if he reaches that top 6 potential. But because we're playing with injuries off, I feel like the guys like Pedan, Biega, Grenier, we don't necessarily need on the team. And the goal that I'd like for this team is, of course, to win the Stanley Cup, yeah, but I want to make changes to this team that will benefit the future, but not sacrifice the now. So that if we do go for like a playoff run or something in this first season, we won't have diminished chances when it comes to our team in terms of if we make trades or not. So benefit the future while also satisfying the now. And players that are in that limbo, we can see in the AHL, we have some players like Gauntz, and Rodin. These guys are a little bit older. Gauntz is 22. We have guys, okay, Cannons is still on this team. We have guys like Oliu Levy, Brock Besser. I put Brock Besser in the game. We also got ourselves, Thatcher Demko, which is he's somewhere in here. He's probably in the +7 more at the bottom. We got ourselves guys like Cole Castles, Dmitry Zhukanov. We got all these guys who will, probably have a shot at making the NHL, especially in Besser and Yolivi and Demko. So those three are the big three of the prospects that we have. And looking at all these other guys, you see like Rodin, Gauntz, and then we got Cole Castles, Volk. A lot of these guys I'd consider transitional players. A lot of them, they still got some room to grow, but the players that do have the potential to be traded for me are Pedan, Biega, Grenier, and some of the other guys who are a bit too old to start developing into actual NHLers. Of course, I want success for our farm team, but I'm going to prioritize the Canucks over the farm team. So what I immediately want to do right here is take a look at the Canucks that we got right now, and I want to go into the trading block. I want to look at some potential trades that we could make, because this team is a team that I want to build for the future, but not sacrifice the now in doing so. What we got here is just under or over $2 million of cap space. We got 45 contracts, so what I want to do immediately off the bat is to rid some of these contracts so we can get in some more room to sign some of these younger guys in free agency. So look, we got ourselves 5 elite guys. 3 of them are already on the team. 2 of them are unsigned. Yolivi and Besser. We also got ourselves some other top 6 players. I made Zhukanov a top 6 low. I do have like a little bit of a feeling that he will be a good NHL player. Or if he has a small chance. Apologies. I think he has a small chance of making the NHL. So I made him a top 6 low. Troy Stetcher's in the game. He's a top 4 medium. Lucas Hasek. I think I'm really liking this guy's chances as well. I made him a top 9 medium, but he's a 61 overall. Same thing with Zhukanov. So if they do make the NHL, it's gonna be a little bit later. Brendan Gauntz is a top 9 low. He's 78. I think he would also be considered as a little bit of a transitional player. You look at Andre Pedan as well. This guy is a guy who I believe is the perfect example of a transitional player between that age where they're starting to develop into an NHL player and that age where their NHL chance is just done, because he's got Pedan's got 4 more years until he stops growing. And he's at a top 6 high, so his potential is really, it's definitely good, and it is prone to growing more, but at this point, top 6 at 76 overall just isn't enough to cut it, and we want to win immediately, because the Sedins are on their decline, Eriksson, Burrows, all these guys, Edler and Tanev can still hold on for a little bit, but it's just those forwards that we really need to cater for. And I believe building a good team based around those forwards is going to help. So what I want to do here is look at our potentials and take these guys who have no chance of playing in the NHL, and they have some trade value, and they're wanted by the Anaheim Ducks. I'm going to choose Anaheim immediately off the bat because they got 39 contracts, which means that we'll be able to load up some of their contracts right now. They got the lowest contract count based off of all the teams, so you can see that they actually want some of our prospects, and a lot of these guys I'd be willing to give up because I want to make room for some more free agent signings. So we'll give them Sautner and Cederholm. Then we'll also give them, let's just say, Guillaume Brisebois. I know he's probably better than an AHL top 2 in real life, but he's got that potential in this game, and he's a contract spot that we're taking up. So I think it would be best for us to be moving forward, because really having this guy on our team, having all these guys on our teams, these guys can't benefit the AHL. They're 68 and 66 overall. Brisebois is a 60, so they won't benefit the AHL, and they're not going to grow and develop into players that can develop in the NHL. So the way that I'm seeing this is get rid of all the guys who don't have a chance, and try to get materials that could help us legitimately in the future. So I'm going to be looking at Anaheim here, and let's just see how much is their first rated. So alright, we can get rid of Stewart and LeBate because I want their first. I want Anaheim's first because Benning in real life has not been getting that many picks. And really, it's been the big demand among Canucks fans. Get those picks! We need those picks because we need to build for the future. So, immediately off the bat, we got ourselves Ashton Sautner, Cederholm, Brisebois, and Olsen for Anaheim's first round pick. Will this go through? No. So we'll add another asset that they would like. I don't want to give up a pick here, so maybe we'll just give them another one of these guys. I don't want to touch these guys up here because they've got some decent potential. We might have to give them Carl Neal. We can try Jacob Stuchel because he doesn't have that much potential as well. Let's see, Jacob Stuchel for it. Okay, no. We'll have to give them somebody that they want. We'll just give them Carl Neal. Here you go. Alright, so Sautner, Cederholm, Brisebois, Olsen, Carl Neal for the first. Let's see if this goes through. This goes through. Now, this is GM Jack Fearless making just an instant splash among joining the Vancouver Canucks organization. And I'm just here to make the team better for the future as well as for now. So what we got is a whole bunch of draft picks. And what I'd like to get rid of right here, if we go to the defenseman and we go to the overall rating, switch it. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want this to be our defensive core of the year since I'm playing with injuries off. So that means we got ourselves a Biega, a Larson, and a Padan to get rid of. I don't want Padan on this team. I don't see him in the future of this team considering his potential, age, and overall. So we'll put Padan on here first. Let's see who wants Andre Padan. I like this feature too. You can go through all the teams and see who wants players. Doesn't look like any team wants Andre Padan. So let's just go and we also got ourselves Jordan Subban, who I actually want him to stay on this team because he's got some good offensive stats. Troy Stetcher's here as well, and Biega, and we'll add on Larson. So what we need is a team that will be able to take 3 contracts. And there are a few teams that would take on 3 contracts, but I'd prefer it to be an Eastern team. Let's just see. New Jersey, no. New York. Okay, New York and New York. So the Rangers are a contender, which means that they will probably be interested in getting some assets and trading away some of their younger things. So let's take a look. How much is their first rated? Their first is rated about the same as Padan, Biega, and Larson. Most of that value is coming from Padan. So if we can make this trade right here, trade Padan, Biega, and Larson for a first, this is a trade that won't impact our Vancouver Canucks team. And it won't impact the Comets as well because these guys are currently on the Canucks. We could just send them down and have Utica have a monster year, but the success for the Canucks, in my opinion, is much better than the success of Biega, who's like almost 30, and Larson, who's like 26, 27, and Padan, I've already said I don't see him in the future of this team. So we get ourselves a third first. So we have ourselves 3 first-round picks for next year's draft. What else can we do right here? I want to see. Take a look at the players that we got. Okay, so let's arrange this by overall. So up until Mikael Granlund is the cutoff. So from Mikael Granlund and beyond, alright, so all these guys are prone to being traded right here. Not Besser, he's good. Not Castles, he's got some value. He could be a good player. Gauntz, though, I'm skeptical about Gauntz. He's a top 9 low, and really, it's just... I just don't have a good feeling when looking at Gauntz and how he's portrayed in this game, because he'll definitely get a chance in the NHL in real life, yeah, but... we also got some other guys who, let's arrange this by overall going downward. Jacob Stukel, he's got some value, AHL top 6 forward, so that's really not good. He's 59 overall at 19 years of age. He doesn't take up a contract spot, so that's good. Jan-Pavel Laplante, 62 overall. This is what I'm trying to do, guys. I know you could say that, yeah, well, if you're trading to get, like, picks and stuff, like, if you're trying to get, like, 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks, you're just gonna end up with the same players, like these AHL top 6 guys. But the reason I'm trying to do that is because there's always a diamond in the rough that you can find. And it's just that we don't have that here. We don't have any diamond in the roughs. We have AHL top 6 forwards. And in this game, I find that the bottom 6 guys that you draft in the 5th round actually have a little bit more trade value than that of the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks. So really, it's kind of a loophole in my opinion, but we're here, and we got ourselves another deal. Gauntz, Stukel, Laplante, Stewart, and McKenzie. Let's see any teams that will be willing to take on these players. So Pittsburgh is a team right here. They got 41 contracts. I think they'll be able to take all of these players, especially since not all of them have contracts. They're over the salary limit or the salary cap with this deal, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure they're all two-way deals, so it's all good. Let's just see how much is their first rated. Their first is a little bit high, so we'll try to get ourselves a second and maybe a younger prospect who has better potential than the guys that we're offering. So if we go to potential, we can see this guy over here, Almari. I don't want any NHL players. Daniel Sprong is a little bit too high, so not him. Let's just see. Stuart Percy, maybe? Yeah. Okay, no, let's go back. He's 23 years of age, top 6. No, he's in a similar position as Andre Padan. Maybe we'll just try to get the second and this guy, Almari. So, you know what, let's see if we can add on some other picks too. Because, you know, I'm always saying about that diamond in the rough that we can try to find. So, let's get the third in there. Is that still decently balanced? Yeah, it sort of is. The fourth, and then maybe the fifth. If this doesn't go through, I'll add, or I'll take out the third and just replace it with like a sixth or something. So, Brendan Gauntz, Jacobs, this won't go through. This won't go through. Yeah, no, this won't go through. We'll remove the third. And you know what? I think this is a bit equal already. Let's see if this will go through. Gauntz, Stukel, Laplante, Stewart, McKenzie for a second, Almari, a fourth, and the fifth. Will this go through? No, it won't. Okay, let's take out that fourth and leave the fifth in. Alright, looks like we'll just have to settle for this. Almari and a second. You know what, I'm feeling greedy. Let's try to get a seventh. Just squeak in a seventh. Let's see if this will go through. This will not go through. So I'll remove the pick, and this still won't go through. Oh man, they really want to hold on to Almari. Okay, so looks like we'll just have to get all their picks then, because I know this will go through. They don't want these picks. And even though all the names on the left are white, they still will get rid of these picks based off of the values and everything. It's just which picks will they be willing to let go of? Will they get rid of all these picks? A second, a third, a fourth? Okay, yeah, they got rid of all those picks. It's not realistic, but I mean, it's EA Sports. It's in the game. So I think we're doing a good job at trying to fulfill our goal of just stocking up on all these younger players, younger assets, draft picks. And what we did here was what I wanted to do originally, and that was to free up some cap space. We got ourselves a little bit more cap space, and we got way more contract spots too. So what I want to do now is go into the free agent mode, or the free agent market, and look for guys not like Seidenberg, Wisniewski, Russell, Hoodler, but potential guys. And it looks like this guy right here, Doherty. He's 20 years old, he's a top 4 high, so he's got potential. He's definitely got potential. That's 4 green stars right there. $9.25 for 3 years. Let's see if this will go through yet. Now, looking through the prospects, this guy is definitely no. He's 26. This guy, no, he's 22. Martin Riway from Montreal, he's a top 9 low. You know what? Let's just, I'm not really feeling it. Let's just scroll down here. We got that 22-year-old, and no, it doesn't really look like we got anybody else. So yeah, I guess it's just Doherty that we're offering a contract to. You know what? We could try to go for either Somala or Rayway. I think we're gonna go for Rayway here because he's 64 overall, which is better than the other guy. Let's only pay him $600,000, and I know it's a two-way deal, but we can still do that. Let's look at goalies real quick. Potential goalies that we got in the free agent market. And, no, it's just Joni Ortio, but he's 25, so nah. Alright, so, what I want to do is just, fast forward a little bit into the calendar. Maybe go a week or two. It's the preseason, guys, so it's okay if we skip, like, a few. Let's go to the LA game real quick. Okay. Salary cap, yeah, whatever. Amateur scout, yeah, that's okay. Jack Doherty and Rayway have, accepted. Okay, so, what I'm gonna do, this is what I would do every time in last gen. I know I didn't play, be a GM mode in last gen, but this is what I would always do, is save the game, because the game froze a lot. So, we made some moves, we made some free agent signings, and I want to make an arrangement of this team right now as it is, because I feel like this is a step in the right direction, because we're not taking away success in the present with these trades. We're just taking away assets that I feel don't really have a place on this team, especially since the injuries are off. So if we go to roster moves, let's see what we got over here. I want 18 players and the best players up here. So let's go to goalies, start off with that. Markstrom and Miller, yeah. Demko's down there with the 75. Defensemen in the system, nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks good. Then forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we still got Grenier. I'm going to have to make a deal for Grenier eventually. He could stay on the AHL squad, but he's listed as a fourth liner, so we'll probably get pissed off if he's down here. So we'll do our best to try and find a place, an actual place, for Alexander Grenier. Alright, we'll change this to best lines. Alright, best lines, then we'll do best lines for the AHL as well. What we got, Henrik Daniel Eriksson, we still got the same thing as before, but it's just a bit more secure, I guess, because our future is definitely looking bright. Edler Tanev, so everything up here is the same as it was previously. But we'll look at the AHL real quick, and look at the players that we got. This is what I'm saying about trading these AHL players who are worth a little bit, because we still got a whole bunch of scratched guys that we can put in, like Cole Castles. I know he's a guy that I want on this team. Joseph Labate we wouldn't be able to trade because I believe his contract is only with the Utica Comets, so yeah, there's like some weird contract thing that's going on over there. Curtis Volk, I mean, nah. And then Thatcher Demko as well. So Thatcher Demko, you know what? Michael Layton, he doesn't have a contract with the Canucks. It's only with the Comets. So we'll replace Demko. We'll make him the backup to Richard Bachman. So he'll get some growth down there in the Comets system. And Brock Besser is playing in the OHL. I assigned him onto the Flint Firebirds. And then Yo Levy is over playing with the London Knights. So those two are taken care of. And really, what we got right now is just a team that I'm willing to move forward with. And I'll end this video now because we made a few trades and stuff, but this is the plan for the team. I got a plan set out for the Vancouver Canucks. What we're going to do is we're going to play through the season normally. And usually when you're about 2 or 3 months in, you start to recognize, are we a playoff team or no? So by the time the trade deadline comes, which I think I'll be able to simulate up until in the next video, if we're in a playoff spot or just out of the wildcard spot once the trade deadline comes, we're going to make a few trades to try and improve our team for the present. And we're going to try to get some of the older guys, maybe sign a free agent or two, to try and help our team with a playoff run, because we need to win now. But once the trade deadline comes and we are just where we are right now, like, look at us, we're last. We got 0 points. If we're still in a position like that at the trade deadline, we're gonna get some assets, we're gonna blow up this team, and make this team a younger, speedier, just overall a team that will just be better in like 5 years' time. So that's the goal. If we're a playoff team by the trade deadline, we're going to just go for the playoffs. We're not going to sacrifice any younger guys to go to the playoffs. We're not going to make any trades that deteriorates our future for the playoffs. We're going to make our team better without damaging the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. For Plus, like and subscribe, and gaming, and bye.